And now, ladies and gentlemen, Gettysburg College is proud to present the class of 2018. I'd like to ask you to please rise if you are able and remove your caps as Nicole Densmore, a member of the class of 2018, leads us in the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Nicole. That was great. The 183rd commencement of Gettysburg College will be opened with the posting of the flag of the class of 2018. All right. The Reverend Kristen Largent, chaplain of the college, will give the invocation.
It is with great joy and thanksgiving that we come together this morning to celebrate our beloved graduates. Yet it is with some sadness as well, as we know this is goodbye, and we will miss you. On this happy and poignant day, then, I am reminded of a well-known story in the Hebrew Bible. Genesis tells the story of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and lost to his father Jacob for decades. Thomas Mann tells this tale in his own way in his book, Joseph and His Brothers. There, Mann describes the emotional leave-taking of Joseph from his father with these words: "People should never take leave of each other lightly, for then, should the worst happen, they can say to themselves, 'At least I did press him to my heart.'" Today, seniors, as this community gathers one last time, we press you once again to our heart and bless you on your way. For those who are so inclined, I invite you to pray with me. Loving God, giver of all good gifts, be with us now as we rejoice with these graduates and give thanks for all they are and all they will be in the coming years. Grace us with your presence and fill us with gratitude for today and hope for tomorrow. Amen.
You may be seated. Good morning. Welcome to the 183rd commencement exercises of Gettysburg College. And a very special welcome to the class of 2018 and to their families and friends. Here's to the class of 2018. Today, families, faculty, staff, alumni, trustees, distinguished guests, and friends gather to celebrate you, class of 2018. In many ways, it's hard to believe that it was 4 years ago that you arrived on campus for move-in day. During the week of your orientation, hundreds of you joined me in our annual first-year walk. Together, we made our way from campus through our historic town to the Gettysburg National Cemetery to hear President Lincoln's iconic address. As you may remember, our speaker that night was Professor Ian Isherwood, who is here to celebrate with you today. In his inspiring remarks, Professor Isherwood said, "A liberal arts education is all about enriching your humanity. It's about making you better people." But with the privilege of the pursuit of knowledge comes the responsibility inherent in such a virtuous action, that of giving back to a world which has given and will continue to give to you. What cause will you nobly advance? Since that evening, I hope you've reflected and will continue to reflect on this important question. What cause will you nobly advance? For the answer challenges you to live your values and to pursue a life of purpose and impact. I trust that Gettysburg College has been a transformative place for all of you, and that it has indeed enriched your humanity and made you better people, as Professor Isherwood said it should. You've gained skills and confidence in articulating your ideas. You've overcome obstacles, and you've opened yourselves to new ways of thinking, more than half of you through studying abroad. You've engaged in politics and public service, competed on playing fields, participated in and led student organizations, performed on stage, presented your research here on campus and around the world, and helped our community to take steps towards becoming more inclusive. These experiences together have formed your education. And as Professor Isherwood said, this gift of a liberal arts education carries with it a responsibility to put it to good use, to give back to a world which has given to you. Members of the class of 2018, you are ready. And I am proud of you. And I hope that you're proud of yourselves as well. Earning a Gettysburg College degree is most certainly a cause for celebration. And yet, in the midst of these joyous festivities, I do know that some of you have mixed emotions. For many of you, there's a sense of excitement about what's ahead, a sense of anticipation for what comes next. For others, however, this day also brings with it some real sadness. This weekend, you'll say goodbye to a place that's been your home for the last few years, to friends who've become your family, and to faculty and staff who've guided you to where you are today. As you consider that, perhaps now is the right moment to acknowledge those who've supported you in this Gettysburg College journey. First, my faculty colleagues. At Gettysburg, we believe that the relationship between faculty member and student is at the heart of a liberal arts education. Your professors have had profound impact on your lives. They've taught you, they've read your papers and graded your exams, they've mentored and challenged you, and they've inspired you. Faculty colleagues, would you please stand if you're able? Graduates, please join me in expressing your appreciation for your faculty. Thank you. Next, I'd like to acknowledge my staff colleagues who do so much on a daily basis to support an exceptional residential college experience. These individuals have helped you find the right materials for your research. They've pushed you to be your best on the field or the court. They've engaged you in discussions about social justice and leadership. They've maintained a beautiful campus on which you've worked and played, and they've prepared meals that have made you feel at home. Could I ask members of the college administration and support staff to stand if able? Graduates, please join me in thanking our staff for their tireless efforts. Next, some representatives of our Board of Trustees are with us today up here on the platform. These are individuals who give generously of their time, talents, and resources to ensure that Gettysburg can continue to provide students with a world-class liberal arts education. Trustees, would you please stand, and graduates and families, please join me in thanking our trustees for their leadership. And last, but certainly not least, I'd like to acknowledge the families of the class of 2018. Graduates, your families have cheered you on, supported you, and believed in you, even when you might not have believed in yourselves. Would our graduates' families please stand if you're able? Graduates, please join me in expressing your love and support and thanks. And since they cannot be here with us today, I also want to call out two more groups of people. 16 of your classmates on our women's lacrosse team and men's lacrosse team who are preparing for their 2:30 and 4 o'clock NCAA games here on campus. I know we wish them the best. And I invite you all to join me out first at Clark Field and then Shirk Field after this ceremony to cheer them on if you're able to do that. So class of 2018, it is a very big day, a day of celebration and reflection, of hope and inspiration. Take it all in. The pomp and circumstance, the speeches, the reading of your classmates' names, all of us and all of this, we're here today for you, class of 2018, and we are happy and proud to share this day with you. Congratulations. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Provost Chris Zappi, who will present the award for distinguished teaching.
We ask Professor William Bowman to come forward. As we gather to celebrate the achievements of today's graduates, it is fitting that we also honor the role of the teacher. Each year at commencement, we present the Gettysburg College Award for Distinguished Teaching to a faculty member who has had a career of inspired and inspiring teaching. This award is given by the faculty and represents the highest honor that the faculty can bestow on a colleague. The award honors distinguished teaching as well as the overall accomplishments of the faculty member at Gettysburg College. Today, we present the Gettysburg College Award for Distinguished Teaching to William Bowman, Professor of History and the current holder of the Johnson Distinguished Teaching Professorship in the Humanities. Bill Bowman joined the Gettysburg College faculty in 1994. Over the past 24 years, he has served as the chair of the history department, has taught more than 100 classes, has advised more than 6 generations of students. Since arriving at Gettysburg, he has also taught at the Danish Institute for Study Abroad and the University of Lancaster in England. As an expert on modern European history, Bill's courses range from introductory world history to a senior seminar on Nazism, with the majority of his classes focusing on modern European and 19th and 20th century European history. He is also the author and co-author of a number of books on early modern European history. The letters of nomination written by Bill's colleagues highlight his commitment to working with students both in and out of the classroom. His longtime colleague, Professor Tim Shannon, explains. Even at an institution known for the commitment its faculty show toward their students, Bill's engagement in and outside the classroom is exemplary. As a professor and advisor, he makes the time to meet with students one-on-one, to discuss their homework, their plans for graduate school, and their career ambitions. Every professor writes letters of recommendations for students, but Bill writes them in unmatched quality and quantity. A student recently reported back to him that when she interviewed for the job, the interviewers told her that Bill's letter on her behalf had made her stand out among a pool of applicants. Bill is also known for his support of student athletes. Open his desk drawer and you'll find a stack of athletic schedules, which he keeps handy so he can attend meets, games, and matches of his students, regardless of the sports that they're playing. He exhibits the same commitment to engagement with students on a daily basis when he pauses to chat with them on pathways around campus or in the lobby of Weidensaal Hall. Of course, all professors are glad to engage with students who are doing well and enjoying their time at Gettysburg. Bill is the kind of professor who goes out of his way to engage students when they are troubled as well, whether they are having difficulty in their academic work or social lives or experiencing difficulties at home. A student of Bill's who takes an unexpected leave of absence will likely hear from him while away from campus, expressing concern and offering help when it is time to come back to campus. One of his former students tells this story about Bill. During my first year at Gettysburg, I was planning to transfer, but Professor Bowman, my new advisor in history, sat me down on a park bench and brought me a cup of coffee. He said, "I'll make a deal with you. If you stay here, I'll make sure that you have exactly the historical education you want, as good as you'd find anywhere else." Over the next 3 years, he challenged me inside and outside of the classroom and helped me turn my enthusiasm for history into scholarship. His mentorship proved to be a pivotal influence in my life, leading me ultimately to my PhD and a career in history. It is this kind and quality of empathy that Bill has exhibited throughout his career that has made him a genuinely transformative force in his students' lives. Bill, Gettysburg College has benefited from your active engagement with students in the classroom and through mentorship for many, many years. We commend you for all that you do, and we are so very delighted to honor you today with the Gettysburg College Award for Distinguished Teaching. Congratulations.
It is now my great pleasure to introduce our senior class speaker, Morgan Hubbard. When Morgan was chosen as this year's speaker, I told her how delighted I was that there would be 2 of us Morgans on the stage today. Morgan is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and she brought with her to Gettysburg an indomitable spirit for which many of us have great admiration and respect. Morgan majored in biology and minored in writing. She has served as a resident assistant and a residential coordinator, and she has contributed as a program coordinator and immersion project leader for the Center for Public Service. Morgan has also been actively involved as a lead copy editor for the Gettysburgian and as a peer learning associate within the English department. Morgan's significant contributions to our campus community have earned her several awards: the Linnaean Award, the John Alfred Hamm Award, the Finer Womanhood Award from the Zeta Phi Beta sorority, and the prestigious Carl Mattson Service Award, which she received just yesterday at Spring Honors Day. Selected from over 40,000 applicants, Morgan's next step will be with Teach for America, serving public school students in Memphis, Tennessee. It is my great honor to introduce the class of 2018 student speaker, Morgan Hubbard.
Good morning. I would like to welcome the faculty, members of the administration, friends, and family to this celebration of the class of 2018. Higher education is a privilege. Although we are all gathered here today in the same gowns, the paths that got us here look very different. For some, growing up, college was an expectation, not an exception. For others, the fight for admission was grueling and was followed by the fight for security to accept. I was fortunate to fall into the category of children who knew college was in their future. What I hadn't given much thought, however, was that someday college would be in my past. That day has come, and it is a bittersweet one. I have spent 4 years of my life amongst all of you, whether or not you've known my name before just now. You have impacted my academic pursuits, my confidence, and my future. Perhaps not every impact was a good one, but every collision shaped me a little more. I was able to come back to campus to see the commencement of the previous 2 graduating classes. I watched the student speakers stand here under these great banners and speak to the Gettysburg experience. Peter Rosenberger of 2016 cited an undercurrent of love, a heartbeat that connected the people who surround this campus. Haya Mohana, who stood here only a year ago, reminded us of the hands that have been extended toward us when we've fallen, the hands that have helped us get back up. I think Peter and Haya were onto something with their anatomical metaphors, and not simply because I'm a biology student turned writer. I think that the best way to describe what happens here on this campus, between these brick walls, cement sidewalks, and lumbering trees, is to equate it with the humanity that operates within it, with the parts that make a body whole. The tricky thing about bodies, though, is that they seldom work perfectly. Our body does not exist in a vacuum. It stands in a world where hate is rampant, where political differences have divided us, and where trust has become a limited resource. Our body is often in conflict. Although we are whole, we are assembled with parts from all over the world that come from different backgrounds and experience our body much, much differently. Our paths to get here were varied, and our paths from here will likely look just as eclectic. Wherever our paths lead, one thing will bind us. On every resume, as an answer to interview questions, hopefully on some Wikipedia pages or prestigious bios, and forever in our memories will be the words, Gettysburg College. It is our responsibility to forge our paths in the direction of hope, empathy, and respect. We owe it to the people at Gettysburg that made the privilege of a higher education possible, to those who made us feel it was impossible, and to ourselves, the ones who relied on support and spoke against restraint, to build our bodies, share our heartbeats, and lend our hands to those who are like us and to those who are our opposites. In January, I was fortunate enough to take part in an immersion project through the Center for Public Service to study immigration on our southern border. Myself, 7 other students, and a psychology professor traveled to El Paso, Texas, a city neighbored by Ciudad Juarez in the state of Chihuahua, Mexico. Every day, people commute across the border both ways for endless reasons. Our group was able to speak with several individuals and families living here in the United States without documentation. Many of their stories were heart-wrenching and contradictory of the narrative we often hear of immigrants. I was struck by their resilience. I realize that opinions of immigration among us are varied, and that this is a speech to celebrate our commencement. However, that variation in opinion is something I thought much about while I was in Texas and when reflecting on my time here. The purpose of the project was to learn more about the experience of immigrants and think critically about what the privilege of citizenship means. I thought about my citizenship, and more importantly, I thought of our school's mission to create responsible citizens, to educate us about topics that span beyond the walls of a classroom and prepare us to contribute to a community. I thought about what those contributions have looked like. Just as I am grateful for the peaceful moments we've shared here in our 4 years, I am equally grateful for the moments we have challenged one another. I thought about the hateful posters I have seen on this campus. I thought about the students who tore them down. I thought about our panels and our speakers and our protests. I thought about a lot of things. But if my 4 years here have taught me anything, it is that thoughts are the seeds of action. A firing synapse is the only way to move the body, our body, forward. Without the people who challenged my beliefs, the ones who changed them, and the ones who reaffirmed them, I wouldn't have the skill set or the moral compass I wear beneath this cap. Higher education is a privilege. For many of us, it is one that we now add to a long list of privileges. For others, perhaps it is one that will give you momentum. As we leave Gettysburg, I ask that you consider the advice I received from a mentor of mine here. She told me to listen, to believe, and to share the stories of those who do not have the power to share for themselves. In that vein, I would like to ask that we live our lives in the pursuit of a world where the privilege we have had is no longer a privilege, but a right, where anyone with the desire can walk across this stage and others like it. I am hopeful that we will all part from our student body knowing the value of our degrees, not just for what is written on the paper, but for what is written in our histories. We are unique in our understanding of the history of Gettysburg for more than a battle, but for a long network of people learning and leading progress beyond this town. I hope that we will value Gettysburg for its good and its bad, work to change the latter, and promote the power of education in creating social change, even in times when fear seems our closest companion. I would like to thank every one of the graduating members of the class of 2018 for being a part of this body, of this movement. I am proud of all of us and wish you all the best of luck. Thank you. I would now like to ask Allison Pollard and Edward Hughes Jr., co-chairs of the Senior Class Gift Committee, to come to the podium.
Hi, my name is Allison Pollard, member of the class of 2018 and co-chair of the Senior Class Gift Campaign. It is my pleasure to announce the end of a successful campaign today. Through the hard work of the Senior Class Gift Committee and an amazing show of support from our fellow classmates, we are happy to announce that 68% of our class has shown their support for Gettysburg College through the Senior Class Gift Campaign. 386 graduating seniors have made a contribution to the campaign, raising a total of $6,381 for the Gettysburg Fun and Orange and Blue Club. All of our gifts also count as part of the current Gettysburg Great campaign. Our contributions will go to support scholarships, academic departments, athletic teams, and various other programs on campus.
On behalf of the Senior Class Gift Campaign, Allison and I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have donated to the college and helped for our efforts to raise awareness of the Gettysburg Fund, Orange and Blue Club, and the overall importance of philanthropic support for our college. Congratulations on your graduating today, and thank you for your support.
Our thanks to Allie and Ned, the gift committee, and to the entire class. You have continued a tradition of service to Gettysburg College begun by classes before you and for future classes to emulate. Thank you all. It's important for us to recognize and celebrate the generosity of students, alumni, parents, and many other friends who have given outstanding support and service to the college over the years. The Laverne H. Brenneman Award for Exemplary Volunteer Service was established in 1992 to honor a man who served this institution during his student days and throughout his life. Laverne's memory and exemplary legacy continue to live on as we recognize the service of an extraordinary individual today. And so now I'd like to introduce Jim Schemmel, Chair of the Gettysburg College Board of Trustees, who will present the Laverne H. Brenneman Award.
Good morning, everyone. Periodically, the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College has the opportunity to honor and thank one of our own. Would Bob Joseph please come to the podium? The Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College salutes Bob Joseph with a Laverne H. Brenneman Award for Exemplary Volunteer Service to Gettysburg College. Devoted, loyal, and steadfast volunteer, Robert H. Joseph, Jr., class of 1969, has fully dedicated himself in service to Gettysburg College. His unflagging commitment to a breadth of leadership volunteer activities include dedication as a member of the Board of Trustees for 14 years, from 1998 to 2012, and his subsequent election as trustee emeritus following his term of service in 2012. Vision and devotion to two comprehensive campaigns, Gettysburg Great, the campaign for our college from 2012 through 2018, and the unfinished work from 1999 through 2004, during which he served in chair and leadership roles on the campaign steering committee, planning, leadership, and executive committees, helping to positively transform the college for future generations. Inspiring philanthropic and advisory support to the Breidenball Hall renovations and the Robert and Marilyn Joseph Theater, in addition to establishing the Marilyn and Robert Joseph Jr. Endowed Scholarship. Leadership as chair of the Commission on the Future Task Force on supporting student success from 1997 to 1998. Able assistance and substantial influence on the college volunteer boards and task forces, most notably the Career Distinction Task Force, the Greek Life Advisory Council, and the Life Safety Task Force. Instrumental involvement with college staff in engaging and soliciting philanthropic support from classmates and other alumni, parents, and friends. His selfless dedication to the college is a bright beacon to future generations of Gettysburgians. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to present Bob Joseph with a Laverne H. Brenneman Award for exemplary volunteer service to Gettysburg College. Madam President, it is now my pleasure to present 3 candidates for honorary degrees. These individuals have demonstrated a commitment to excellence and to the values and ideals inherent in the liberal arts tradition through their work and through their lives. Rebecca Stevens Halstead, please come forward. Madam President, I have the honor to present Rebecca Stevens Halstead for the degree of Doctor of Military Science, honoris causa.
Rebecca Stevens Halstead, honorary degree of military science. Becky Halstead, embracing challenges and breaking barriers is second nature to you. As a member of the 1981 class at West Point, only the second Academy class to graduate women, you achieved an historic milestone by becoming the first female graduate of that institution to be promoted to general officer. Among other military assignments, you served as the Senior Commanding General for Logistics in Iraq and were the first female in U.S. history to command in combat at the strategic level. In this capacity, you were responsible for leading over 200 multidisciplinary units located across 55 different bases, providing supply, maintenance, transportation, and distribution support to over 250,000 personnel serving in Iraq. Education has been central to your preparation. Graduating from the U.S. Military Academy with a Bachelor of Science degree in engineering, you later earned a military art and science degree in advanced military studies from the U.S. Army Command and General Staff College in 1993, and in 2000 received a Master of Science degree in National Resource Strategy from the Industrial College of the Armed Forces National Defense University. During your 27 years of service in the United States Army, you held the position of Deputy Commanding General for the 21st Theater Support Command in Europe, gaining experience leading a multinational team in wholesale-level logistics operations. Prior to Europe, you served as the Chief Advisor to the Commander for Southern Command, whose responsibility encompassed military training and operations for South America. In this capacity, you were also responsible for coordinating directly with high-level organizations such as the Office of the Secretary of Defense, Joint Chiefs of Staff, Department of State, U.S. Congress, U.S. ambassadors, and equivalent foreign, military, and civilian organizations. The culmination of your career came in 2006 when you became the first female Chief of Ordnance and Commanding General of the Army's Ordnance Center and Schools, responsible for leader development and institutional training for the second largest branch in the Army, with over 100,000 members of the Ordnance Corps. As a result of these accomplishments, you have received, among other military decorations, the Distinguished Service Medal, the Defense Superior Service Medal, 2 awards of the Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star Medal, 5 awards of the Meritorious Service Medal, 2 awards of the Army Commendation Medal, and the Army Achievement Medal. Now, as a retired Brigadier General, you founded your own leadership consultancy company called Steadfast Leadership, where, as Executive Director, you specialize in inspirational speaking, developing leadership programs, leadership coaching, consulting, and advising. You also authored your first book on leadership, 24/7, The First Person You Must Lead is You, in which you define it as the fusion of heart and mind in selfless action for the betterment of others to effectively accomplish the mission and make a difference. Rebecca Stevens Halstead, you are still making a difference by serving on the board of advisors for multiple organizations, including the Patriot Project, and as a spokesperson for the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress, with specific focus on military health care. In recognition of your unwavering service to your country, your demonstrated leadership towards achieving equality for women in the military, and your continued commitment to helping all persons realize that true leadership is based on service to others, we are proud to present to you with the highest honor we can bestow.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby gladly confer upon you, Rebecca Stevens Halstead, the honorary degree Doctor of Military Science, with all of the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Francisco J. Nunez, please come forward. Madam President, I have the honor to present Francisco J. Nunez for the degree of Doctor of Music, honoris causa.
Francisco J. Nunez, as a leading proponent of the significant role that music can play in achieving diversity and equality in today's society, you have shown by example what can be accomplished when young people from different backgrounds are actively engaged to appreciate and embrace the differences in themselves and others through music. Raised in New York City's Washington Heights, you experienced firsthand how music can bridge barriers. As a piano prodigy, you met other young people with the same interest in music, but from different cultural and economic environments than your own. These exchanges showed you at an early age that having a passion in common can help children connect in ways that allow them to be a source of inspiration for each other. Thus, after graduating from New York University with a Bachelor of Science in Piano Performance in 1988, you formed the Young People's Chorus, YPC, of New York City, bringing children from underserved neighborhoods together with those from more privileged circumstances in order to, as you have stated, provide children of all ethnic, religious, and economic backgrounds with a safe haven for personal and artistic growth. As a result, each year over 1,600 children ages 7 to 18 benefit musically, academically, and socially through their participation in YPC's after-school, in-school, and community programs. In addition to conducting YPC, you also lead the All-Men's University Glee Club of New York City and are a much sought-after guest conductor by professional orchestras, chamber ensembles, and choirs in North America and Europe. As a composer, you have received countless commissions from choirs, orchestras, and soloists for music and arrangements in all musical formats and styles. Since its U.S. debut at the Prudential Center in 2015, you have also served as the principal conductor of American Young Voices, a program which brings thousands of children together to sing in some of the largest arenas around the world. As further evidence of your commitment to improving the lives of young people, you created the Nunez Initiative for Social Change through the Choral Arts, bringing together leaders in various fields in order to develop a strategy to promote social advocacy for children to choral conductors and music teachers across the nation. Through this initiative, you are also collaborating with the Dominican Republic to create a national children's choral movement to unite the country's children and elevate the level of artistic excellence in the country's choral music community. Education is of central importance to you, so you have developed and instituted a college-bound program for all YPC after-school choristers, which provides workshops, subject tutoring, and other support to enable YPC graduates to go on to higher education. To advance and expand the instructional methods that you have been so successful with YPC choristers, you also established a conducting fellowship program, which provides young conductors with a unique opportunity to work hands-on with all YPC choral divisions. Based on all that you have accomplished, it is not surprising that in 2011 you received the highly prestigious MacArthur Fellowship, known as the Genius Grant, for your extraordinary originality and dedication in creative pursuits. Among your many other awards and honors are an ASCAP Victor Herbert Award, the New York Choral Society's Excellence Award, and the 2017 Visionary Award from Bang on a Can. Most recently, Musical America named you its 2018 Educator of the Year, making you one of only 5 individuals who have received this award. Francisco J. Nunez, in recognition of your incomparable dedication to improving the lives of young people through your musical talent and for your drive and resourcefulness in providing opportunities, both artistic and educational, which promote diversity and equality, we are proud to present to you the highest honor we can bestow.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby gladly confer upon you, Francisco J. Nunez, the honorary degree Doctor of Music, with all of the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Howard David Fineman, please come forward. Madam President, I have the honor to present Howard David Fineman for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Howard David Fineman, honorary degree of Humane Letters. Howard David Fineman, you are one of our nation's most respected political journalists. Having interviewed every president and major presidential candidate since 1988, your extensive body of work includes the well-recognized November 2001 Newsweek cover story featuring the first extensive interview since September 11, 2001 with George W. Bush and the Bush and God series, which won the 2003 National Magazine Award for General Excellence. Raised in the Squirrel Hill neighborhood of Pittsburgh, you graduated Phi Beta Kappa from Colgate University, received a MS degree in journalism from the Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism, and earned a JD from the University of Louisville School of Law. You were also a recipient of both the Thomas J. Watson Fellowship and the Pulitzer Traveling Fellowship for Study in Europe, Russia, and the Middle East. Beginning your journalism career at the Louisville Courier-General, you covered the environment, the coal industry, and state politics before joining the newspaper's Washington Bureau in 1978. You moved to Newsweek in 1980 and were named Chief Political Correspondent in 1984. Deputy Washington Bureau Chief in 1993, and Senior Editor in 1995. Furthermore, you have the distinction of being one of the first Washington print reporters to write regularly for the web, being named Editorial Director of the Huffington Post Media Group in 2010, and the Global Editorial Director in 2015. This past January, you left Huffington Post to write for NBC News, where you also have been a popular on-air analyst for both NBC and its cable network affiliate, MSNBC, since 1998. In addition to your Living Politics column, which was posted weekly on Newsweek.com, your work has appeared in the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the New Republic. You were also frequently asked to comment on today's social and political landscape on MSNBC's Hardball with Chris Matthews, The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, and The Rachel Maddow Show. The media is not the only institution that has recognized your talents. Academia as well. In addition to having been asked to lecture at more than 40 colleges and universities, you have most recently been named as an adjunct professor at the University of Pennsylvania's Annenberg School for Communication. In respect to sharing your knowledge with future generations, you've been especially loyal to Gettysburg College by agreeing to be a featured speaker on our campus several times. Most notably, you delivered the 2009 Blavat Lecture, participated in a panel discussion with the Eisenhower Institute in 2012, and contributed to a small group discussion with Chris Matthews about the presidential election in 2016. In your national bestseller, The 13 American Arguments, Enduring Debates That Define and Inspire Our Country, you contend that it is the very process of never-ending debate that defines us as a nation, inspires us, and keeps us free. Whether it's the nomination of judges or the limits of free speech, the issues that galvanized the Founding Fathers, you believe, should still inspire our leaders, thinkers, and fellow citizens. In your words, if we fail to draw strength from our argumentative nature, we risk losing what made us great and gives us hope. Our disputes are not a burden, but a blessing. With these words, you have given current and future generations permission to question long-held assumptions about what constitutes a true democracy, to debate these notions, and to embrace differences of opinion that inevitably will arise with civility and hope for the future. Howard David Fineman, in recognition of the insights you provide, which enhance our understanding of politics and the workings of government, for your journalistic integrity, and for your willingness to support Gettysburg students in their quest to become well-informed and engaged citizens, we are proud to present you with the highest honor we can bestow.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby gladly confer upon you, Howard David Fineman, the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters, with all of the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto. And now that he has received Gettysburg College's highest honor, I am very pleased to introduce Howard Fineman to address the class of 2018.
With typical great preparation, I left my notes over there, so just wait a second. A few things. First of all, you bear with me while I take a picture, all of you, because it's a marvelous scene and one that I don't want to ever forget. I had all kinds of jokes prepared about what a poor state the class of 2018 would be in. But I watched you all come through the door, and you look great. You look like you're in really good shape. I'm impressed. Let me say, first of all, listening to the description of myself up there, I thought, yeah, you know, I've actually done something here I was honored and humbled beyond my ability to express by this distinction today, and to be in the company of these other extremely worthy and more worthy honorary degree recipients. So if you wouldn't mind applauding them, let's do that. Thank you. Second, I want to note that the Gettysburg lacrosse teams are playing this afternoon. Okay, there's one lacrosse fan for sure. They're in the NCAA tournament. They're high up in the NCAA tournament, and I think as part of the celebration of the class of 2018, they're both going to win this afternoon. All right. All right. Good afternoon. I bring you greetings from a city about 80 miles south of here that we like to call Hollywood on the Potomac. You've probably heard the phrase, first made famous by my friend James Carville, a political consultant, who said to me once, he said, "Howard, politics is show business for ugly people." And it is. They are. It is the most insane reality TV show that we have ever seen. Now, I read somewhere that the oldest department of studies at Gettysburg College is the classics department. And I'm sure any of you classics majors would know the Greek derivation to describe what goes on in Washington. What goes on in Washington right now, in not a very good fashion all around, is politics. And that comes from the Greek, poly, which means many, and ticks, which means blood-sucking insects. That's kind of where we are, all the way around. And when Donald Trump arrived in town, after a few days, he asked Kellyanne Conway, "Kellyanne, why do the media and all these other people who live in Washington, why have they taken such an instant dislike to me?" To which Kellyanne answered, "Mr. President, they're just saving time." In the interest of saving time, President Riggs told me that when I asked her advice for the speech, she said, "Well, say everything you have to say, but say it in 12 minutes. So here we go, and I've already used up a couple. I want to thank a couple groups of people and individuals, first of all. I want to thank, as I said, the board and President Riggs. I want to tell you what you already know, which is that President Riggs has announced that this coming year is her last year. And I've known her for most of her tenure at Gettysburg. And I think even though she's not leaving till next year, we all ought to give her a tremendous round of applause because you are so lucky to have her. Really. You know, seriously. I get around a bit, you know, I get on college campuses. I know a lot of college presidents, past and present. You've got one of the great ones here, and I hope you all appreciate it. I also want to tell you, as you've heard before, that you ought to thank your parents and your other loved ones because they are the reason and the hope and the strength that brought you here. That's obvious for sure. Your classmates, of course. But I'd like to take a special minute to have you thank the real reason why you're here, in my view, at a fine, small liberal arts college. And that's the faculty. Please thank them now. The close association that you have with them at a place like this is something I can assure you in your lives you won't probably find anywhere else. Intellectually, for sure. Personally, probably. The lessons you learn, the people you met in this faculty will guide you, and that's what a place like Gettysburg is all about. I know Gettysburg pretty well, as I said, and was said about me. I've been here a number of times. I really love the place and have gotten to know it pretty well. So I have my honorary hood on here, so now I'm going to complete the picture by trying to put on this hat, which is too small. Another piece of bad plan. Okay, here we go. And also, I know the first thing I learned about in coming here, when my son played baseball here as a kid, was that the existence of a place called the Bullet Hole, which apparently there have been great transformations on the campus, but the one thing that has survived, even though it's moved locations, is the Bullet Hole. And as much as I love this honorary degree and the diploma of everything, I think what I like most is the Bullet Hole T-shirt. Can't beat it. So, why are we here? For a few minutes, I wanted to talk to you about Abe and Ike in Gettysburg. As you know, Abraham Lincoln gave a speech here that you may have heard of. Dwight Eisenhower lived and retired here, wrote his memoirs here, and there was a battle of some note. Today, many Americans worry that we're in a new civil war, a new kind of war. No long guns or cannons, but Twitter feeds, YouTube channels, fake news sites, and a contempt throughout Washington, in the White House and elsewhere, for truth-telling, for even the very idea of truth. Now, this conflict is more corrosive than deadly, but it's deeply divisive, and it's a situation that you will have to deal with, that already are dealing with for all your lives. But if Eisenhower and Lincoln and Gettysburg are any guide, and I think they are, you and we will not only survive this 21st century, we will emerge stronger from it. Why do I say that? Well, I'm not going to talk today about myself. I'm not going to talk in my few minutes about all those presidents and presidential candidates I interviewed as a journalist. History is the older brother of journalism, and I'm going to talk about history and those leaders and places that I mentioned. So, what is there about these two men who are associated with Gettysburg and this college in this place that give us hope? They give us guidance. They give us lessons. 10 of them I would propose. I like to put a number on it. The first one is the most important, and that is to honor the truth. Lincoln and Eisenhower valued the truth and sought to speak it, not just when the times demanded it, but also they believed that it was possible to find it. They nurtured and cherished a reputation for honesty and straight shooting, often the more blunt the better. Today's political culture values tribal loyalty over truth and victory above all else. The current president did not invent this corrosive culture, but in many ways he represents the apogee of it. Abe and Ike, who sought to unite the country and did, admonished us that facts are more important than spin, and that it is the truth, not the sale, that makes us free. So that's number one, honor the truth. No, you can clap if you want. Number two, anyone can become a leader. Everyone knows that Lincoln grew up dirt poor, but Ike was of modest background too. Both came from small, rural Midwest towns far from the coastal citadels. Ike and his brother took turns working in alternative years so the other could go to college. Ike went to West Point because the tuition was free. The United States Army, of course, got more than its money's worth, and so did we. Keep in mind, two of the greatest leaders in American and world history made it on their own and didn't come from the well-connected precincts of this country. Number 3, teach yourself always. And the faculty in Gettysburg taught you how. Read and keep reading. I know this sounds like the last thing perhaps you want to hear right now, but read books always. I think this is especially important now. Yeah, or let's hear it for books. This thing is wonderful. You have the world at your fingertips, but you don't have the organizing principles at your fingertips. What books do is attempt to organize the world, and it's in the attempt to organize the world that you learn. So keep doing that. And Ike and Abe did it their whole lives. Lincoln was famously determined to find books to read on the frontier. Ike read every book in his parents' little library out in Abilene, Kansas, 2 or 3 times. They learned early to read books and kept doing it. Old-fashioned advice, but these men proved its worth. Number 4, don't let defeat define you. Lincoln was famous for his failures in seeking public office and in business and in virtually every other walk of life before he finally found the path to leadership in the presidency. Ike's young dream was to be a baseball player. He was crestfallen when he injured his knee and couldn't pursue what he wanted to do. But he didn't let that defeat in his dream, which is to play Major League Baseball, defeat him. Number 5, be inwardly confident, but be outwardly humble. These 2 men were towers of inner strength, but also monuments to public humility. They were easy to underestimate at first glance. They liked it that way, and it worked together for their advantage. Number 6, have the courage to draw the line and stand up. You know, at first, Lincoln was not philosophically and morally, at least politically, he was not politically opposed to slavery. But because he realized both the politics and the morality, he stepped forward. And he did it here at Gettysburg to announce and promise a new birth of freedom. He stood up. Thank you. Have we reached that yet? No, we're not there. But as I said in my book, we're striving to get there. And we're going to argue our way as we do it. And Ike was the same way. You know, he was not regarded as an ideologue, but it was in time to stand up, he did. He called out the evils of a new form of human slavery and totalitarianism and helped lead us to victory over them. Number 7, be thankful for the gifts of this country, however flawed, and for the world, however difficult. Abe and Ike were American exceptionalists, deeply so. That was the whole point to them. We owe it to ourselves and the world to merit our gift. You know, we're always going to argue, but we have the freedom of citizenship here in the United States to do so. And I would say to all the foreign students from overseas who are here, if I may say so, and again, despite our flaws, what you've seen here at Gettysburg, I think, is something that is good to take to the rest of the world. Number 8, appeal to hope and not to fear. In other words, be a true patriot, not a false patriot. Appeal to hope and not fear. And that's what Abe and Ike were like. Yeah. The faculty's applauding. Yeah. Eisenhower spoke out against the kind of tribal fear-mongering and schoolyard name-calling that we hear today. And he did it from the White House. Neither man assumed nor said that those who opposed them were less than human or less than American. They didn't say that, and we cannot say that. We cannot say that. Number 9, as citizens of this country and the world, get involved. We have the government we deserve as living in a democratic society. Speaking in 1954 at the bicentennial of Columbia University, where he'd been president, Eisenhower quoted John Adams on the patriotic duty of the educated, which is you. The prospect now before us, he said, at the beginning of the Republic, ought to engage the attention of every person of learning to matters of power and right, that we may be neither led nor driven blindfolded to irretrievable destruction. Let every sluice of knowledge be open and set a-flowing. And lastly, number 10, history teaches, I think, optimism and the hope of unity. And here I come to Gettysburg. Yes, there was a battle here, the bloodiest in American history. The tribalism that we fret about today is nothing compared with the kind that they witnessed here, even at this very building, on this very campus. Residents of this town emerged from the battle on July 1st and 2nd and 3rd, 1863, to see a scene of unbelievable devastation and death. Farm fields littered with bodies of dead soldiers, ruined, burning fields and forests. 50 years later, in 1913, the soldiers that survived gathered here again. The country had not only healed the wounds of the war, the country had long since become a major industrial power and was about to take important steps in the long and never-ending march of social progress. In July 1913, 50,000 Yanks and rebels, as was the case, by the way, here in this building when the wounded from both sides were cared for in the midst of that battle, these men embraced and laughed as Woodrow Wilson lauded the peace and vigor of the Union. The men cried. They slowly and feebly, with a sober mixture of laughter and rue, recreated Pickett's charge. They were happy and full of hope for themselves, their family, and their country. As we are now, as you are now. After today, you will leave this lovely, peaceful, prosperous town and college called Gettysburg, now so far from the strife and woe of long ago. Remember the lessons of Lincoln and Eisenhower and this place. And remember that you now have a duty and the power to lead what Lincoln called the last best hope of earth. Thank you, Godspeed, and good luck. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Howard, thank you for your wise words today. How about another round of applause for Howard Fineman?
Thank you. Good luck, everybody. Good luck.
Are you ready? Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree please rise? President Riggs, these students have completed all requirements leading to the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I ask you to confer upon them this degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts. I admit you to the rights and privileges which pertain to the bachelor's degree, and I charge you to use responsibly the learning and insight that you have acquired. Congratulations.
The Bachelor of Arts recipients will please be seated. The candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree, please rise. President Riggs, these students have completed all requirements leading to the degree Bachelor of Science. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I ask you to confer upon them this degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science. I admit you to the rights and privileges which pertain to the bachelor's degree, and I charge you to use responsibly the learning and insight that you have acquired. Congratulations.
The Bachelor of Science degree recipients will please be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Music degree please rise? President Riggs, these students have completed all requirements leading to the degree Bachelor of Music. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I ask you to confer upon them this degree.
This is getting really personal. By virtue, Nico, of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Music. I admit you to the rights and privileges which pertain to the bachelor's degree, and I charge you to use responsibly the learning and insight that you have acquired. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Music Education degree please rise? President Riggs, these students have completed all requirements leading to the degree Bachelor of Music Education. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I ask you to confer upon them this degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Gettysburg College and the laws of this Commonwealth, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Music Education. I admit you to the rights and privileges which pertain to the bachelor's degree, and I charge you to use responsibly the learning and insight that you have acquired. Congratulations.
You may be seated. The graduates will come forward at the direction of the student marshals. Please hold your applause until the end of the diploma presentation.
For the degree Bachelor of Arts, cum laude, Andalasia Constancia Hughes Murdoch, President of the senior class. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude, Kylie Nicole Davis, Vice President of the senior class. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude, Caitlin Marie Helmstetter, Treasurer of the senior class. For the degree Bachelor of Science, cum laude, Amy Claire Bozeman, Secretary of the senior class. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, Tawfiq Ismail Abdul Kareem. Annette Aguilera Gonzalez. Claire Alexis Algin. Vincent Amoroso. Eiley Elizabeth Anderson. Caitlin Elizabeth Anthony. Hannah O'Dwyer Armstrong. Alexa Nicole Arnold. Christine Suzanne Arnold. Robert William Arthur. Bridget Elizabeth Ashton. Christian Frederick Awe. David James Bear. Edward James Bagliani, Jr. Andrea Christina Barb. Virginia Catherine Barlow. Xavier Barnes Easy. Benjamin Christopher Bauer. Baki Abdul Bala. Tyler Colin Bain. Glenn Isaiah Benson. Cassandra Brooke Berger. Dory Nicole Bergman. Drew Martin Berkowitz. Nicole Rhea Bangdia. Mary Margaret Annabelle Bloom. Evan Allen Bachma. Michael Nicholas Bancardo. Kirsten Elizabeth Bonsall. Christian David Bohr. Daniel Adam Bauer. Danielle Nicole Boyland. Caitlin Sarah Boyle. Sydney Alexandra Brott. Jake Andrew Bracken. Lauren Ashley Bradford. Kristen Carol Bradley. Shannon Elizabeth Brady. Timothy John Brady. Adam Holden Brody. Kama Bridges. Shivani Lene Brown. Kimberly Michelle Ariel Brown. Nicolette Michelle Brusco. Michael Raymond Burek. Tyler Austin Burke. Jake Patrick Campbell. Caitlin Michelle Carnes. Anna Lauren Carney. Jennifer Amani Carr. Louis Raymond Carasillo. Jessica Nora Casal. May Sue Chow. Stephen Frederick Christner. Thomas Edward Clark. Daniel Herbert Rucas Clayton. Kevin W. Clayton. Gray Allen Clemson. Kelsey Pauline Cochran. Katie Ann Coder. Chloe Teresa Comas. Emma Josephine Conant Hiley. David Winfield Cordetti. Shelby Lynn Colton. Nora Helene Coyne. Erin Naomi Craig. Julia DeFay Crana. Evan Reed Crawley. Mackenzie Lynn Krantz. Scott Robert Sapler. Joshua Lee Kubel. Nathaniel Robert Cutting. Jessica Rose Catone. Edward John Laurent Dame. Brady James Daniels. Audrey Olson Dannenbaum. Justin Adam Davidov. William Jerry Davis. Eli Sylvester Dawes. Kimberly Simone Ashley Dean. Lonnie Marie Dethridge. Joseph Robert DiCristofaro. Michael Acevedo De Leon. Elizabeth Ann Delanites. Bradley Christian DiMartino. William James D'Amato. Czech Omar Dico. Julia DiGuglielmo. Haoyang Ding. Matthew James Disidoro. Sabrina R. DeMello. Christopher Patrick Donovan. Tyler Thomas Doherty. Eric Andrew Douglas. Stefan Charles Dudley. Brianna Rose Egan. Jacob Benjamin Ecke. Andrew Douglas Eldelson. Daniel Alexander Elichins. Alexander William Engelsman. Leah Rose Falk. Michael James Faris. Dante Charles Fargnoli. Nicole Lisa Farina. Noah Timothy Fatzinger. Patrick James Fay. Emma Alexa Feeney. Elizabeth Fox. Benjamin Neil Frankel. Sarah Marie Freed. Robert Wesley Fry. Luke Charles Freegan. Samantha Bradley Frizzoli. Ian Michael Garbolski. Nicholas John Garman. Cole Michael Garr. John Brooke Evans Garrett. Catherine Elizabeth Gayshore. Eileen Catherine Gazzola. Brian Francis Gianforte. Nicholas Severio Giannoni. Emily Ann Gibbons. Catherine Elizabeth Gilbert. John Edward Gillen. Jillian Victoria Glazer. Andrew Meyer Glick. Lauren Elizabeth Gottschalk. Charlotte Frances Grosclose. Michelle Lynn Grosser. Rami Salim Halaby. Caroline Witherspoon Hall. Madeline Kathleen Hamblin. Justin Anthony Hansen. Ryan George Harkin. Eleanor Harrigan. Michael Thomas Hartnett. Allison Claire Hefter. Abigail Marie Heidenberg. Catherine Taylor Higgins. Kirsten Hain. Anna Hollander. Allegra Karen Horstman. Edward Zeller Hughes. Elizabeth Alexandra Hunt. Matthew James Hutchian. Quadjo Sichi Hilton Day. Nellie Humphreys Ingram. Keyshawn Sharif Jackson. Ryan Michael Janiga. Christopher Eldridge Johnson. Kaylee Nicole Johnson. Emily Kaminsky. Isabella Justine Katsanos. Camelia Ketterneth. Natalie Jean Kesner. Cameron Lee Kynard. Preston Daniel Kynard. Jeremy Andrew Kinnear. Rachel Allison Kirby. Ryan James Kizilevich. Bradley James Klusner. Sean Peter Kowalski. Mairead Fallon Kress. Albert Robert Kuhl. Alexa Jade LaBoy. Anne Hayes Lacey. Monica Beth Langer. Max Larson. Sarah Leanne Latomy. Lindsay Arlene Legault Knowles. Wren Elizabeth Lemler. Alyssa Levy Lepick. Caroline Lynn Lewis. Harrison Andrew Liggett. Savannah Amber Llewellyn. Kathia Michelle Lopez. Meredith Lowy. Yushin Liu. Philippa Jane Lumsden. Amy Ma. Tyler Edward McGillivray. Colleen Marie Marr. Andrew Charles Major. Anna Lauren Malafronte. Mark Patrick Malone. Michael Angelo Mancino. Julianne Ferry Marble. Jordan Rose Marks. Rafael Marquez. Anna Elizabeth Martin. Jeffrey Russell Martin. Lily Elizabeth Martin. Jessica Lee Martinez. Madison Lee Martino. Christopher James Masses. Griffin O'Shea McCalla. Dylan James McCluskey. Star Chelsea Roslyn McCoy. Caroline May McDonald. Thomas McGovern. Emily Elizabeth McGreen. Daniel David McGurl. Sean Patrick McLaughlin. Catherine Margaret McPartlin. Nicole Patricia Medina. Quinn Merrigan. Abigail Elizabeth Matheny. Joseph Matthew Meyer. Andrew Timothy Malone. Christopher Wilkins Minor. William Samuel Morris. Haley Phyllis Mowery. Stephen Anthony Moyo. David Lee Murphy. Andrea Lissa Neer. William McKay Nolan. Catherine Marie Norris. Kellyanne O'Connor. Shannon Teresa O'Hara. Francesco Olmo. William Shepard Overton. Alira Justice Parker. Caleb Joseph Parker. Emily Ryan Petro. Christopher Morgan Paulus. Thomas Henry Pelchet. Justin Christopher Pepe. Kayla Nicole Polari. Allison Pollard. Amanda Susan Pollock. Alexander Thomas Posner. David Brennan Potaki. Charles Frederick Probst. Ryan Leonard Pulford. Jonathan Peter Rava. Ann Forster Riley. Jamie Nicole Relin. Catherine Westfall Reno. Julia Madison Rodbell. Donald Robert Rosler. Isabella Rosdicek. Rebecca Rosenberg. Haley Lynn Royer. Kelly Ruth Rubin. Brooks Rubino. Kelly Joan Saffery. Jennifer Harumi Sakai. Logan Xander Sangri Hills. Patrick Thomas Santini. Sean Mark Sabino. Joseph Anthony Scaglione. Mary Carolyn Schaefer. Blaine Schiff. Andrew Charles Schmid. Jessica Lee Schneider. Brandon William Schweikert. Juliette Elizabeth Seebach. Jordan Elizabeth Sellers. Jillian Lee Sensendiver. Samantha Anderson Sessa. Christopher Albert Saravini. Jacob Beddick Schaefer. Catherine Elizabeth Shanahan. Emma Virginia Shaughnessy. Corinne Shrestha. Olivia Rose Simmet. Rebecca Ann Sinks. Elizabeth Bridget Smith. Luke Asher Smith. Logan Brooks Sneed. Travis Dale Saul. Meredith Denise Statz. Joseph Edward Stancato. Andrew Joseph Stetson. Cameron Alexander Stewart. Shantiz Brianna Stewart Gardner. Brandon Michael Stouffer. Frank J. Stubbelow. Matthew James Salt. Charlotte Francis Tanqueri. Charles Terry. Mark Albert Tessier. Cameron Angel Matthew Thomas. Ryan Thompson. Kelly Elizabeth Tinkham. Amanda Lee Torres. Ivy Halana Andrade Torres. Alex Richard Totzer. Casey Lynn Tratner. Michaela Jean Twitchell. Clay Devlin Tyre Jr. Caroline Elizabeth Valenti. Andrea Celeste Ventura. Morgan Uzel Vach. Rohan Mandela Harding Walcott. Maihan Wali. Bradley Douglas Walker. Sharday Walker. Megan McCool Walsh. Taylor Nadine Ward. Jocelyn Abrielle Watkins. Madeline Emma Weichert. Lucas M. Wiseman. Julie Ann Weld. Ryan Wheatley. Emily Hall Whitcomb. Trayvon Malik White Sams. Justin Charles Wigley. Emily Elizabeth Wilcox. Kaylee Jones Wilk. Anisha Marie Wilson. Sullivan Everett Wingard. Brian Robert Whitty. Alexandria Catherine Wyckoff. Sarah Catherine Young. Andrew Joshua Yuska. Jacob Wesley Zeliff. Yachu Zhang. Jamie Zoltik.
For the degree Bachelor of Science, Jessica Marie Aldericio. Logan Lindsay Bernstein. Austin Douglas Blair. Michael Andrew Clark Quadrado. Michaela Cecile Collins. Sarah Elizabeth Congdon. Kimberly Amber Corcoran. Gerald Edward Craig. Jenna Marie DiCurzio. Andrew Vincent DePaul. Priscilla Raina Ditrin. Zachary James Dobus. John Dewey Dorset. Laura Catherine Duquette. Emily Annabelle Evans. Brian Paul Finger. Sarah Elizabeth Finley. Wendy Joy Volfus. Reun Fu. Jack Liam Gallagher. Emily Lynn Garrigan. Laura Gessler. Alexander Joseph Gold. Alexander Roger Grun. Charles Richard Hale. Dean Austin Helwig. Morgan Brianna Hubbard. Sophia Jean Johnston. Sean Michael Kennedy. Jingyi Liu. Zichin Liu. Emily Renee Lutz. Ellery Mackenzie Lyon. Sabrina Rose Marrow. Fontaine Elise McFeeters. Morgan Lee McManus. Zachary Allen Miller. Kirsten Rebecca Moyer. Allison June Mueller. Lila Miriam Mufti. Morgan Noel Nagy. Danielle Elizabeth Ofeld. Leonard Joseph Oglalek. Stephen Worth Pashik. Kathleen Shondi Paul. Anthony Joseph Puka. Elliot Manuel Rodriguez. Tyler Chancellor Sadowski. Tristan Maxwell Smiley. Tanner Ray Smith. Yuki Kenneth Sugiyama. Gretchen May Sutter. Nene S.C. Harrison Hamill Toman. August Forbush Umholtz. Aaron Daniel Wagner. Jared Alexander Walkoff. Rebecca Ann Weimer. Robert Anthony Weissensee. Rachel Madison Wigmer. Quinn James Worth. Tracy Wong. Mi Chang Zhang. For the degree, Bachelor of Music Education, Carl Andrew Segletis. For the degree, Bachelor of Arts Cum Laude, Alexandria Justine Andrioli. Zachary Scott Bartman. Sarah Elizabeth Berkowitz. Stephanie Leah Blair. Tori Julia Bloom. Julian Rose Boggs. Hannah Claire Bogorowski. Jesse Robert Campana. Mary Lee Casey. Sarah Wilson Cooney. Nicole Svetnikanen. Nicole Ashley Rahayu Densmore. Colum Edward Dougherty. David Dunkelberger. Megan Michaela Eaton. Casey Elizabeth Eck. Matthew Paul Bay. Cynthia Marie Hilgara. Samuel David Genova. Elizabeth Jane Goss. Caroline Morgan Gross. Carly Alexis Gustafson. Hannah Marie Harder. Madeline Irene Heaney. Rachel Holland. Danielle Elise Jones. Brittany Michelle Kane. Max Gabriel Karen. Emma Elizabeth Korawatney. Alexandra Megan Crane. Allison Patricia Lauro. Stephanie Jean Leonardo. Margaret McGee Lauren. Rachel Catherine Lochran. Megan Shepard Luckenbaugh. Angelica Rose Mara. Jessie Elizabeth Martin. Christopher Albert McDonald. Chichi May. Melissa Patricia Mena. Nicole Suzanne Miller. Julie Gabrielle Moranto. Yeli Lizelle Monteno. Catherine Alice Morphle. Tanner Justin Morrow. Lily Joan Nybert. Claire Whitney Nolan. Natalie Snow Purinton. Claire Macaulay Quinn. Shelby Marie Reese. Erica Margaret Schomburg. Daniela Marie Snyder. Kara Elizabeth Stein. Erin Christine Sweeney. Mackenzie Morgan Targarona. Shelby Janine Trail. Bridget Schuyler Varecchia. Michael James Walsh. Sarah Christine Walsh. Winnie Wong. Samuel Keegan Weathers. Morven Sylvia Jane Wally. Miranda Weiser. Daniel Eugene Wright. Shonan Yu. Ife Zhang. For the degree Bachelor of Science, cum laude, James Eric Arps. Kevin Michael Achenbaugh. Kenneth Stone Boyle. Cian Chen. Nicholas William Corby. Nicole Crofton. Skylar Jeffrey Ely. Jennifer Ann Giannini. Julia Ann Giannini. Isabel Anissa Hewlett. Lindsay Marie Kraus. Andrew Philip Morgan. Afra Murray. Ling Fan. John Thomas Siebert III. Ross Michael Silver. Allison Marie Stickney. Lauren Elizabeth White. Apple Wu. Peter Alexander Yurgo. For the degree Bachelor of Music Education, cum laude, Kelly Elizabeth Ryman. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude, Sarah Page Apadu. Dakota Philip Rivero. Emily Elizabeth Brown. Andrew Klein Cohen. Delia Catherine Craig. Laurel Shannon Downey. Matthew William England. Sarah Ann Good. Bryn Nicole Hambley. Claire Kennedy Healy. Catherine Grace Hegwood. Nicole Marie Hindley. Jessica Lynn Hubert. Annika Naomi Jensen. Julia Mary Kerr. Natasha Gabrielle Kerr. Carolyn Avery Kirsch. Douglas Allen Kovaleski. Peter Augustus Cuss. Melissa Joanna Loro. Claire Traver Lauren. Bridget Erin McCollum. Mairead Corrine McCarthy. Kathleen Ann McGurty. Ha Nguyen. Brianna Elizabeth O'Boyle. Megan Elizabeth O'Donnell. Patrick Joseph O'Shea. Erica Marie Paul. Aileen Marie Riley. Jared Charles Richardson. Amanda Page Richmond. Aoife Skanka. Jennifer Ashley Simone. Jelena Samansky. Nora Elizabeth Tidy. Grace Elizabeth Timko. Catherine Gager Torrance. Kara Elise Urberniak. Samuel Elmer Van Fossen. For the degree, Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude, Tigran Aslanyan. Sarah Jean Brantley. Margaret J. DeBell. Amanda Victoria Fink. John Adrian Gentis. Lawson David Gillespie. Hunter Lee Markle. Savannah Rose Morrissey Martin. Julia Rose Palmucci. Zoe Alana Ricker. Nathaniel Reel. Sarah Nayland Rivera. Anna Christine Salmonson. Christopher Ian Schrock. Nolan Francis Skirtich. Sarah Ann Smith. Sophia Smith Sugar. Caitlin Ann Talt. Tope Ung. Young Jung. Nicole Wong. James Kenneth Welch. Kendall Elizabeth Wright. Zoe Christina Yo. For the degree, Bachelor of Music, magna cum laude, Nicholas Peter DeGroot. For the degree, Bachelor of Music Education, magna cum laude, Miranda Lauren Bubenheim. Chelsea Marie Ferraro. Isaac David Hawkins. Edward John Holmes. For the degree, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude, Mary Beth Balicki. Kathleen Mary Bolger. Elizabeth Blair Cox. Christian Breton Deschapelle. Marley Rose Disney Swanson. Jenny Jacqueline Enos. Lucas Westcott Gaylor. Elizabeth Courier Hillfrank. Aubrey Lee Campilla. Erin May Lanza. Jeffrey Lawrence Locke. Yiran Mao. Susanna Lee Mills. Adrian Navarro Hernandez. Abigail Mira Shope. Jordan Nicole Stefanisi. For the degree Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude, Elizabeth Ann Burton. Madison Leanne Caldwell. Richard James Gavell. Alexandra Augustin Guffey. Viola Liu. Madison Scott Strine. Brianna Marie Titchen. I now have the pleasure of recognizing two very special members of the class of 2018. First, for the degree Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude, the salutatorian of the class of 2018, Maria Mazza. For the degree Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude, the valedictorian of the class of 2018, Emily Elizabeth Harrison. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Gettysburg College class of 2018.
How you feeling out there? Congratulations to all of you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Lauren Wise Bright, a member of the class of 1990 and the president of our Alumni Board of Directors. Please welcome Lauren.
Wow, beautiful. Well, I'm here on behalf of the more than 30,000 Gettysburg College Alumni Association members, and I'd like to extend heartfelt congratulations to you, class of 2018. Congratulations. As mentioned earlier, I'd also like to add a very, very special thank you for your achievement of 68 participation in your senior class gift, which has resulted in nearly 6,400 in support for your alma mater. Both of these numbers represent a huge success for your class. You've established for yourselves a wonderful new tradition of giving back. Thank you. Now, speaking of traditions, it has become a tradition that the Alumni Association presents each graduating senior with the stole of gratitude that you wear today. In fact, this is the 14th year for this tradition. And while it's a gift to you, our hope is that in turn, you will honor this tradition by presenting the stole to someone, family, friend, or perhaps a faculty or staff member who played a significant role in helping you achieve your goals at Gettysburg College. I hope that you'll take the opportunity following the ceremony to present the stole to someone who has made your Gettysburg experience special. Finally, and most importantly, as graduated alumni, the baton of responsibility for the future of Gettysburg College now passes your way. Your alma mater has thrived for more than 186 years through the ongoing engagement and support of alumni, parents, and friends. I urge you to become the leaders of your generation in sustaining that tradition too. I am honored to welcome you to our very special Alumni Association, whose members have already played a large part in your Gettysburg experience and are ready and waiting to help you as you take your next steps. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Thank you, Lauren. By the way, the custom at commencement is for graduates to move their tassels from the right side to the left, signifying their new status as bachelor's degree holders. So members of the class of 2018, feel free to do so. Congratulations. It's now my great honor to deliver a charge to the class of 2018. I do understand that many of you are ready for this ceremony to conclude, so I promise I'm going to be brief. As I reflect on my interactions with so many of you in this great class of 2018, I am filled with pride in seeing what you have accomplished and who you have become during your time here at Gettysburg. You've stood up for Gettysburg's values. You've engaged in thoughtful discourse. You've supported one another. And you've made positive change. Change doesn't always come easily. You cannot spark change by wishing it upon the world. Rather, you ignite change by giving fully of yourself to something greater and by inspiring others to do the same. Every one of you has the power and the potential to make a positive difference. So as I charge you today, I return to the words of Professor Isherwood that I began with, and to those of Abraham Lincoln. As you go forth from Gettysburg College, I charge you to dedicate yourselves to the unfinished work before us. I charge you to advance nobly those causes that will foster positive change in your communities and neighborhoods, in your workplaces, in this nation, and in our world. Your Gettysburg education is a privilege. Use it wisely. Do great work. Class of 2018, now Gettysburg graduates, I wish you all the best. Thank you, and congratulations to every one of you.
We're getting there. A few announcements. Immediately after the commencement exercises, refreshments will be served in the Cub Ballroom and the Dining Center. There are signs placed to help you locate these two areas. Do join us. Now, will Rick Hale, member of the class of 2018, and renowned crooner, please come to the podium to lead the singing of the alma mater, which is printed inside the back cover of your program. Today, Rick will be accompanied by the Commencement Brass Ensemble. The ensemble will be playing the alma mater as arranged by Keith Gromas, the class of 2013. After the singing of the alma mater, the benediction will be pronounced. The audience is asked now to rise if able and to remain standing until the recessional is complete. Our newest graduates will follow the faculty down the center aisle and towards the reception locations. Rick?
Old Gettysburg, back to thee. Forever am I thy debtor, and whatever else I may do, I'll love, I'll defend, and I'll honor the glorious orange and blue.
It's time, seniors. The world is calling, and you must go. Receive now the benediction with which we send you out in confidence and in love. The world is calling. May you go out with open ears to hear the cries of the oppressed. The world is calling. May you go out with open hands, giving lavishly of your own gifts and receiving humbly the gifts of others. The world is calling. May you go out with open hearts, with a passion for justice and an abiding love for the whole creation. The world is calling. May you go out with good courage, not knowing where you go, but only that God's hand is leading you and God's love supporting you. Amen.